Hello, welcome to KUBE 365. In this video, you will learn how to create a simple form and in this case, a claim form using KUBE 365. Let's start off by clicking on the System Settings button at the top navigation bar. Under the Forms category box, proceed by clicking on the Create New Form link. Upon being directed to the Create New Form page, select the Create Form option as you are making a fresh form. Next, fill in the necessary details required and click the Create button. Now that you are on the Form Designer page, we can begin making our claim form. You will firstly be able to see two default form fields, name and description fields, at the center of the Form Designer page when you are creating a fresh form. On the left panel of the Form Designer, there is a list of field types you can drag and drop into the Form Designer to design the form. The first section is called Container and consists of two options, Zone and Table. The second section contains Form Fields. This section contains various options such as checkbox, radio button, file upload, text area, etc. Unlike the Container section, form fields can only be dragged into either zones or tables, thus being unable to be placed anywhere else. Additionally, zones and tables can be used to organize the form fields into different sections. The table container can be used if you wish the user to fill in multiple data entries, and therefore we will use a table for the claim form expense records. This ensures that users filling up the form can add additional rows if necessary. If you desire to change the default name of the field, change its label under Field Properties. Besides that, you can even delete the field by clicking Delete Field under Field Properties. Let's move on to creating a submitted date of the form by firstly dragging in a system field. Next, label the newly added system field with your desired name. Once you have filled out the label, the field code will automatically be filled to by default. You can also change the field code manually if necessary. Then in the System Property drop-down list, select the Form Submitted Date option. Now we will add in the reference number information by dragging another system field into the form. You will first have to rename the form field and field code. Further on, move on to the System Property drop-down list, select the reference number option. Next, we can add form status information by dragging and dropping a system field into the zone. Be sure to rename the system field to a desired name. Then in the System Property drop-down list, select the Form Status option. Besides the system properties selected in this video, there are also other options that can be chosen to show different types of information. Moving on to the Employee Info section, you can add an employee name field by using the People Picker form field. After renaming the label and field code, click the More Field Properties button. Next, click on the Values tab and tick the Set Logon User checkbox. Upon logging into the system, the user will have their account name automatically filled up in the employee name field when completing the form. Following up, you can add a department field to obtain the user's department information. Drag and drop a select form field into the Form Designer. Proceed by clicking on the More Field Properties button. Afterwards, click on the Options tab. Here you can choose to add more department options by clicking the Add button. You may rename the options you wish to add in the Labels section. The Code section will automatically copy the Labels section. Once you are happy with your changes, you can click the Save button. Next, drag in a table container and give it a name. In my example, I will be creating an expense information table. We will start by making an expense date column. In order to do this, start by adding a calendar form field so it is easier for the user to find a specific date. Moving on to the creation of a claim type column. This column will require the Select Form field just like the Department field. Moving on to creating a description column, it will only require a text form field. Next, we will proceed with the construction of an expense amount column. Drag in a currency field and rename the label. You may customize the field code if necessary. Then in the currency type option, select the currency type you wish the user to use. Additionally, we can add in a receipt checkbox column for the user to indicate whether the row of expenses has a receipt attached to the claim form. Once you have dragged the checkbox form field in, just like the Department form field, rename the label and edit its options. After that, let's add a section for user remarks by dragging in a text area form field. This enables the user to key in multi-lined content when they write out their remarks. Finally, if you wish the user to upload a file when filling the form, use the File Upload Form field. Once done, you can preview the form to see how it will look by clicking the Preview Form button at the top right of the Form Designer screen. When you are done with your customization, you can click the Publish Form button at the top right of your screen to now be able to use the form. Go to the New Submission page. Now the user can submit the claim form. Congratulations, you have successfully created a claim form using KUBE 365.